Welcome back to Your Average Redditor. Today we are going to be going over Am I the Asshole stories, and, I just got demonetized, and I'm going to be giving my opinion on it. So, might as well get started. Am I the asshole for stealing my mom's earrings after she threw away my sex toys? I swear I didn't. I picked this at random, and okay. So, thank you, OP. I'm not gonna reveal your name, but this is a wonderful gem. Anyways, am I the asshole for stealing my mom's earrings? My mom lives nearby, and her husband was away traveling for work, so she wanted to stay overnight at my place for some company. When I got home, I noticed she cleaned my room and moved some stuff around. Later that night, while she was sleeping, I went to grab my dildo from the drawer. It wasn't there. Neither was my vibrator. I checked everywhere, but I could not find them. I asked her if she moved anything from my drawer. She told me she threw away my toys away because she didn't want me using them. If you had a boyfriend and wanted to get married, you wouldn't need that stuff. I was so upset. She refused to pay me back for that stuff. Before she left, I took a pair of earrings from her purse. I called her that night and told her that she'll be able to get her earrings back when she reimburses me for what she threw out, and that I'll throw the earrings out if she doesn't pay me the money back. She was angry and said I was being petty and childish. She didn't pay me that day or the next day. My sister told me to just let it go because that's just how mom is, but I'm tired of hearing that excuse. A couple of days later, my mom sent me the money, no apology, just the payment and a text that states, "Now give me my earrings back." I dropped the earrings off at her house. I don't think I went too far. Am I the asshole? Personally, OP, I don't think you went too far at all. I think you were completely reasonable. Why did your mom? Why did your mom to go through your stuff and throw it all out? Is kind of what I want to know. Oh, because listen, if my mom found all that stuff, my sex toys, I don't think she would even try and touch them because she'd be absolutely disgusted. Um, I'm gonna give you 0 out of 5, and I'm gonna give your mom 2 to 3 out of 5 because that was not okay of her. That was very, very bad. Okay, here's another great one. Oh my god, this is my first video, and this is going wonderful. My mom lives with a sex offender. I don't want to visit her house. Am I the asshole? Honestly, going to buy just the title? No. No, you're not. Um, your mom, the person your mom lives with, 100%, you know. Maybe I'm old fashioned and I think, sex offense is a pretty asshole-ish move to do, but fuck it. I'm old fashioned then. My mom, so let's get into this story. My mom has a roommate who's lived with her for several years. They often socialize together on the weekends, run errands together, work on house projects together. Nothing romantic, more of a roommate situation. But they lived together so long that he's practically family. I've met him a few times, had some beers on the porch. He's been to my house once or twice. Seems like a nice enough guy. Mom mentioned recently he can no longer come to our house because we're too close to the park. She said it like it was no big deal, but it rang alarm bells in my mind. I didn't say anything in the moment because my daughter was with me and I didn't want to have that discussion in front of her. Sure enough, the roommate is on the registry. Online solicitation. Victim was not much older than my daughter. Based on the info online, he was living in her house when it happened. He was sentenced to probation and supervision. I did some Googling to see if I could find out any more information, but only found other people with the same name. Maybe there are mitigating factors, maybe he's rehabilitated, but the whole situation creeps me out. Obviously, my mother knows he's registered and is okay with it. She's invited us over so we can all, specifically including my roommate, hang out. Knowing what I know, I don't want to associate with the guy, and I definitely don't want to take my daughter around him. I can't exactly suggest that he go take a walk around the park while we're there. While she's welcome to come to my house, I would rather not go to hers. Am I the asshole? Honestly, with the entire situation, no. You're completely reasonable. I have a little girl too at home, and I would 100% do the same thing as you. Honestly, I feel like that might be something your mom, should have told you when you had a kid because he's on the registry and he probably can't be near your daughter. I mean, that might have been something she should have, y'all should have thought about. Well, not you, but like your mom and her roommate. Um, yeah, this is a weird situation. That's about all the advice I'm really wanting to give on that. So, am I the asshole for failing the test my boyfriend set up? Mm, let's do this one. Am I the asshole for refusing to visit my husband's birth son with him this summer? My husband has a 14-year-old son who was given up for adoption at birth. My husband and his ex were 18 and did not feel ready to parent, so they chose to let him be raised by people who wanted him desperately. They have an open adoption. They visit about once a year and do regular video calls with their birth son. This has always been a source of joy for their birth son from what I can see. My husband was upfront about all of this from the start. He never hid anything, and contact has been consistent our whole relationship. So here's the thing. I have met his birth son once. It was before we got married, and I knew he did not like me. The whole meeting was awkward, and the time we spent together was awkward. His parents had to correct him a couple of times for being rude, and I did not visit with my husband the next 2 times he went. My husband's ex is also married, and now her and now her, and her husband has had a similar experience with our spouse's birth son. My husband's ex and her husband had a baby almost 2 years ago. My husband and I had ours 5 months ago. Their birth son did not appear very happy to hear his birth parents were having more kids. He has siblings he's growing up with, so he's not an only child and never was, but I know my husband and his ex are hoping their birth son will see the babies as the half siblings they technically are. Well, I mean, they are half siblings, so not technically they are. Especially when he has such a good relationship with them. Ex's husband has picked up on the same vibe as me that it's not happening, that their birth son during video calls is really only happy to see/talk to his birth parents and not us or the babies. And we get this, but we've had a lot of the similar experiences here. We're not really anything to this kid, but the people his birth parents married and had more kids with. Ex-husband says there's some hostility our spouse's birth son has shown towards us or him, but he believes us. Did I read that right? There is some hostility. Yeah, I did. Okay. And he told me he was left on video call for a couple minutes when his wife was tending to their child, and the teen glared at him and was mumbling under his breath. He told me his wife appeared surprised. I also spoke to my husband about my feelings, and he was surprised and concerned. So now both my husband and his ex decided we should all visit their birth son together this summer and spend several days together. They feel like it should help him get to know us better and get to meet his biological half-siblings. I put my foot down and refused to go. I told my husband he should accept where his birth son is at, and right now accepting me and his ex-husband is not something he appears willing to do. I said going out there with him could make this kid feel even more animosity towards us for interfering on the time with them when we all know he loves seeing them. My husband said I need to be there and we all need to work this out. He said not going will send a message that I don't care. Am I the asshole? Oh, this is a hard one. Fine. I am not a psychologist. I'm not I'm not the best at relationships. I'm not gonna even pretend I am. But here's the thing. Here's how I'm seeing this. Your husband's birth son is probably jealous of his half siblings, and he probably doesn't really like you, and like his mom's husband, because number one, he probably, just he wants his family. He wants his parents, his birth parents. He wants them. It's not something that's not now. I grew up with a stepdad. I have my dad, and my dad's getting married here shortly, to a new girl, well, to a new woman, and I can't say that I've felt any of this, but like I can see where he's coming from. I can see where your husband's coming from. I can see where you're coming from, where you just don't want to go because you think there, you think there will could the kid could feel more animosity towards you and the kid and his half siblings, but yeah, he could. He 100% could. I'm not gonna say he couldn't, but there's also a good chance that he could very easily, grow to care about you, grow to care about out, his half siblings if you go. If you don't go, you don't ever fix this problem, man. It could grow worse. With time, when it comes to things like this, time is not really on your side as much as you would like to think it is, in my experience. And so he's apparently 14, and I would recommend, if he likes video, like showing interest in like some hobbies he has. Not fake interest either, like actual interest. Because, I mean, you love your husband. His son's, biologically probably 50% of him. So, he's probably, got some things in common with your husband. So I say, fuck it. Might as well I'll try and, get along with him, get to know him a little bit better, and I'm not going to say you're an asshole at all for this. I'm just going to say, so I'm going to give you 0 out of 5 asshole stars. And before anyone says anything, yes, this entire channel is based off of r slash. He is very fun. I like r slash. This one seems fun. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend I feel more like his mom than his girlfriend? Advice needed. So I, 19 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 21 male, for almost a year. I love him, he's sweet, goofy, and he makes me laugh. But lately, I've been feeling more like I'm raising him than dating him. I'm in college full-time and work part-time. He dropped out of school and is quote-unquote figuring things out, which I support, but I end up doing everything. I cook, I clean his place, remind him to pay his bills, help him with job applications, and basically act like his personal assistant. If I don't, stuff just doesn't get done. I finally snapped last week and told him I feel more like your mom than your girlfriend and it's not cute anymore. He got super quiet and later told me I was mean and made him feel worthless. I apologize for how I said it, but not for what I said because it's true. He says I'm not being supportive and that relationships are about helping each other grow. I agree, but I also think helping and parenting are two different things. So I don't have his side, so I'm not gonna go hard as hard on him. But if what you're saying is true, I would recommend, and this is just me personally, I would recommend, you know, pushing him a little bit, not being a jerk about it. It's gonna be a very hard thing for you to do. Not saying it like you're upset or anything. Like, remind him once or twice, and stop reminding him to do things. If you don't, I don't know if you live him, you might live with him. No, it does not say that you live with him. If you don't live with him, let him figure it out. Don't remind him to do anything of that stuff. Don't clean up after him, but say nothing. Don't cook for him anymore. Have him figure it out. He will. You don't have to. If you want to cook for him, cook for him. If you want to clean, but I would recommend, if you're gonna cook for him, have him ask him if he wants to help you. If he says no, that's probably your cue to leave and get out of that relationship. If he says yes and he does help you cook and all that, you guys will be closer. You hope he helps you cook, and then you guys clean up afterwards. That is relationship bonding, and you will grow stronger together, and he will learn to do more of the cleaning and cooking. And but don't remind him to pay bills. Don't help him with job applications unless like he asks you to, and even then don't just fill it out for him or anything. Just give him advice. But I mean, basically you kind of are being like his mom. You're not really being his girlfriend. You're being his mom. And as someone who has dated someone like that on the opposite end, you guys are not going to last if you continue doing everything for him. I mean, you already said straight up said that you snapped at him. Like there's already that tension there. Yeah, you maybe could have gone a little easier on him. I don't know. Wasn't there. Not gonna try and say I was there, but and maybe, just maybe, have him go and have him like ask him about how work is if when he has a job or whatever. So, I mean, that's all I can say. My friend won't block her at abusive ex. I like this one. Oh, this was recent too. My friend won't block her abusive ex. Am I the asshole for being annoyed? By Certain Cry 8901. Thank you. There's a warning of abuse. Okay. If you guys don't like that, please click off the video. I mean, please don't, but like I like money, so don't do that. But you can if you want. So, in the trigger warning, there is abuse. So, the story goes, I am so frustrated with my friend continuously dating pieces of shit. She has a 4-year-old son, and it's so sad. Her last girlfriend didn't help pay the bills or anything, drove her car to work, and would spend all her paycheck on spice and crack. What is spice? I'm not really familiar with all the drugs, but my friend would even have to spend $20 a day to help her with her habit. That doesn't sound like that much. But, I mean, that's probably a lot. I don't know how much she's making. Multiple times my friend had to take her to the hospital because she's diabetic and would go days without eating. Okay, that's a problem. That is a big problem. And also, spending $20 a day to help with a habit probably isn't good now that I'm thinking about this more. Why is your friend dating assholes? What, was she like abused as a kid? Okay, well continue going. When I would go hang out with my friend, her girlfriend would get mad if she spent money doing stuff with me. Her girlfriend needs to back the fuck off. She started posting on her Snapchat, single, hit me up, and posting videos to her story of her smacking her female coworkers' butts. Well, that's assault, and she should probably be charged for that. And then she would come home and cause a scene until my friend would apologize and offer to buy her drugs. You could tell her son was uncomfortable with her being around. She also cheated on my friend Why is this woman... What the fuck is going on with this? She also cheated on my friend constantly and was caught texting other women and would disappear overnight doing God knows what. She would she would get upset. Fuck, English is hard. She would get upset anytime my friend asked her to help with the bills. Finally, she started staying with another girl, and they ended things, but my friend was still a doormat to her. Before I finish the rest of this story, your friend, I don't know her family situation or anything like that. She needs some help, though. She needs to be able to stand up for herself. She needs to be able to stand up and say, no, you're not going to do this. I mean, like you said, she's got a 4-year-old son who's witnessing this stuff. And he's going to witness this stuff, and he might think it's normal to to treat your significant other, this way. It's not a good thing. I'm very worried for that son if he grows up and thinks this is normal. I'm assuming, this is probably the lesbians. I don't know if that's like a bad word anymore. And And the whole thing is, though, I grew up in an era, and I'm exceedingly young, so I grew up in an era where I was told women are equal to men. So thinking about it as a 4-year-old nowadays, growing up seeing this stuff, he's seeing all this stuff occur, and he's probably gonna be told women are equal to men. Women are equal to men. That will be constantly told to him. So if he's gonna see her, exes, all her, they're not people. I'm gonna say these people are not people. We're gonna say, and it's not because they're lesbians, because they're fucking animals. This ex, your friend's ex, is an animal. She's abusing people, sexually assaulting people, and is constantly on drugs. She's not human. She's an animal. I refuse to elaborate on that. He's growing up seeing that, and he's probably gonna think it's normal, which I hope he doesn't. It doesn't seem like he does. So that's good. But let's get back into the story. I probably just, lost viewers over that, tirade I went on. So, where the fuck was I? Okay, yeah, here it was. She had stolen my friend's son Xbox. That's it. Okay, that was the last straw. Strain her up, hang her. We gotta parade her through the street by her entrails. She stole an Xbox. That's the last straw. Sexual assault, not that bad. Stealing the Xbox, death penalty. Fuck it. She goes to prison immediately. Shot, firing squad. I don't give a fuck. Xbox is the problem. Doing drugs, you get a prison sentence. Sexually assaulted people, prison sentence. Stealing the Xbox, though, that's where you draw the line. We gotta draw lines in this society. That's a weird line to put, but that's my line. And refused to give it back. Then one night, when my friend wasn't home, she needed a phone charger and got pissed that my friend wasn't home to give her hers. She then broke into her home, stole her charger and weed. Then she went to Walmart, where my friend and her son just so happened to be. She followed my friend inside, harassed her, then grabbed her phone. Your friend needs a protection order. My friend asked an employee to call the cops. Then she drove back home with her son and asked me to come over and wait for the cops to get there. She let the cops read their text. Okay, your friend needs to get a protection order. I don't know what state you live in, but you could probably very easily file for a PPO online. She let the cops read their text where she was threatening my friend, telling her she'd have to shoot her to keep her away, insulting her and body shaming her. She was arrested that night, but bonded out by another girl. Who is bonding these people out? For some reason, my friend still hasn't blocked her number, and she's still asking her if she can come spend the night. I'm getting really impatient with her. Why not block her? She already lost custody of another kid because her baby daddy was abusive and she refused to leave him. Now this. It's not hard to be frustrated with her. I've been in an abusive marriage and left the second the police got involved. Immediately got a PFA, protection from abuse, and made it to where he couldn't come near me again. If I had a kid, it would have pushed me to do it sooner, so I guess I just don't understand. Am I the asshole? You are not the asshole. No, not even close to the asshole. Honestly, I don't know your economic situation, your living situation, but to me, what I would do, what I would be, very worried about is your friend's son. I personally would try and file for custody over that kid. I'm being 100% serious on that. I do not like where the environment he's being raised in. I don't think that's a good environment for him. I'm way, really fucking worried about your friend's son, and I don't want him growing up to be like, your friend's exes. It's not a good situation for him to be in, to think that's normal and all that. And if you do that, yeah, it's gonna break your relationship with your friend, and you probably won't win custody of him, but something's gotta change. Either your friend's gotta change and be a better person and be smarter, or you're gonna have to take things in your own hands and protect that child. But I mean someone will. This is a sad situation that I don't really like. Okay, let's go into something else that is a little bit better. Am I the asshole for getting my coworker fired for his repeated visible dick print? Based off the title? No, probably not, honestly. I, 19 female, and interning part-time, and we all dress casually. I was alone in a room at my office one morning. My coworker, Josh, late 20s male, came and started chatting with me. When I turned to face him, I could clearly see an outline of his erection. He was wearing thin sweatpants, and they left nothing to the imagination. I didn't say anything. After he left, I just went back to work. I ignored it the first time. It kept happening, though. Josh would come along the chat, and each time he was visibly hard, and I could see it through his flimsy shorts, sweatpants, or thin dress pants. Like he didn't even act embarrassed or try to hide it. He'd just stand there like it's nothing. He acts normal around everyone else, and this hasn't happened any other time I've seen him. Not with others around, just when it's only us. I didn't bring it up to anyone yet. I just didn't want to appear dramatic and didn't want to make myself a target. Then he started making comments. If it's hot out, I had to wear these shorts today. One day, Josh came over and he asked me to come to his apartment nearby over lunch. I politely declined, and as he was leaving, he said, "All right, I've got to go to the bathroom to take care of something. See you around." While glancing down, he clearly had an erection and the outline was clear. That was it for me. I went to HR and reported everything. HR put Josh under review and he ended up being fired with cause. Now some of my coworkers are icing me out. One of my coworkers sarcastically muttered out, "I made sure to wear proper pants today." Hey, didn't want anyone to get any ideas. While I was having lunch near some of them, and they laughed. My boss has been talking to me less, and I feel alienated. I just wanted Josh to stop. Am I the asshole here? No, absolutely not. There's no reason. Why was he? I have several questions as a fellow man. Number one, how the fuck do you have an erection every single time you chat to someone? Like, how do you do that, dude? Like, that's not normal. That's not normal at all. Number one. Number two, making those other comments because you're not thinking straight, because, I don't know, you're probably forcing blood flow to go down below, is not a good idea. That's just for the men. If there's any guy, like teenage boys watching this, don't be like Josh. Josh is a creep. That's not how you pick up women. You can't do that stuff. And if you do pick up a woman acting that way, she's not gonna be good for you. Don't do that. You don't want to be like Josh. Also, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this at all. But, I mean, you probably should have been a prick to him a little bit more. You probably should have told him, like, the first time it happened. Now, you should have been, polite the first time it happened, but, like, point it out and tell him, hey, if I were you, don't wear those pants, near me again. You know how that they could, just be like, that could come off, very badly. Like, basically remind him politely that this is a work environment and we're not allowed to just be sporting erections around a certain coworker. And I think he might have been doing it on purpose. I don't think he was. And when I say he was doing it on purpose, I think he might have been just sporting an erection on purpose. I don't know how you could do that realistically. I've worked with multiple women, and I'm gonna be honest, didn't matter what the fuck they were wearing, didn't matter how hot they were. I didn't always just sport an erection whenever I was near one of them, because even though Oh, I've been working since I was a teenager, and I don't know if you ever met a teenage boy. Hormones are fucking wild with those things. You know, those guys are animals. I ran cross country and track in high school and wouldn't have an erection in whenever I would talk to females who ran track and cross country who were 100% hot. That was not something I had, so I do not know how he was doing this. This is actually kind of impressive. How the fuck were you doing that, buddy? Anyways, that's probably it for the day. Subscribe to my Patreon. My Patreon is called Average Reddit Enjoyer. I will link it in the description below. I'm gonna be trying to upload twice a week, maybe more. We'll see how this goes. Have a good one, and thank you for watching.